Friends, hello. Today we will talk about meditation and what science says about it. Meditation, once considered exclusively a spiritual practice, has over the past few decades become the subject of systematic scientific research. It is studied by neuroscientists, psychiatrists, psychologists, educators, and physiologists. And the results of these studies are remarkable. Meditation is not a single technique. It includes many forms: concentrative practices, where attention is focused on breathing, a mantra, or a visual object; observational meditation, in which a person becomes aware of thoughts and emotions without judging them; movement-based meditation, such as Qigong, Tai Chi, and yoga, where attention is connected to bodily movements; mindfulness practices, where attention is directed toward the present moment; sensations, the environment, and one's inner state. Each form has its own characteristics and advantages, but all of them alter the usual state of consciousness and develop attention, self-control, and inner resilience. Scientific interest in meditation began to emerge in the second half of the 20th century. In the 1960s, American scientists began studying transcendental meditation, recording changes in brain activity using electroencephalography. Even then, it was noted that brain rhythms during meditation differ from those of ordinary wakefulness and sleep. In the 1970s to 1980s, neuroscientists and psychophysiologists joined the research. They began measuring heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, and hormone levels. Results showed that meditation lowers physiological markers of stress and strengthens the nervous system. In the 21st century, with the advent of functional MRI, diffusion tensor imaging, and other technologies, it became possible to observe real changes in the structure and activity of the brain in practitioners. One of the most important discoveries is that meditation enhances neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections and reorganize existing ones. Studies at Harvard University showed that people who went through an 8-week mindfulness program had increased gray matter density in the hippocampus, the region responsible for learning and memory. Additionally, thickening was observed in the prefrontal cortex, an area responsible for attention, decision-making, and self-control, as well as in the cingulate cortex, associated with processing emotional information and inner awareness. These changes indicate that the adult brain can develop and reorganize under the influence of regular practice. The amygdala is responsible for stress responses, fear, and anxiety. Stanford University research showed that meditation practitioners experience reduced amygdala activity, making them more resilient to stress. They are less likely to have panic reactions and are able to maintain mental clarity in difficult situations. Meditation stabilizes heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and normalizes breathing. The parasympathetic nervous system, the system of recovery and relaxation, becomes activated. As a result, chronic muscle tension decreases, sleep improves, and overall energy and vitality increase. Meditation alters the subjective perception of time. Practitioners report that a few minutes can feel like hours or the opposite. Scientists link this to changes in the functioning of the prefrontal cortex, insula, and brain networks involved in self-awareness and perception of the environment. Meditation influences empathy and social behavior. Research at MIT showed that participants who went through a course of loving kindness and compassion increased activity in brain regions responsible for empathy. This confirms ancient views of meditation as a practice not only for inner development, but also for building harmonious relationships with others. Today, meditation is actively applied in psychotherapy. Mindfulness methods are integrated into cognitive behavioral therapy and programs for anxiety disorders, depression, and post-traumatic stress. Patients report reduced anxiety, improved sleep, and better concentration. Continuing to look at the scientific perspective on meditation, it is important to note its impact on learning, aging, pain, and cognitive functions. Meditation programs in schools and universities show positive effects on attention and academic performance. Research at the University of California demonstrates that children practicing mindfulness just 10 to 15 minutes a day show greater ability to concentrate, better emotional control, and fewer conflicts. Older adults who practice meditation show improved memory, reduced signs of cognitive aging, and slower risk of dementia. This is associated with the preservation and strengthening of the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, which normally decline with age. Meditation helps alter the perception of pain. The signals remain, but the suffering decreases. Harvard research showed that meditators activate brain areas responsible for attention and interpretation of sensations, allowing them to manage their reaction to pain. Meditation reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases serotonin and dopamine production. These processes improve mood, inner stability, and a sense of well-being. Modern devices allow real-time monitoring of brain activity, heart rate, and breathing. This helps visualize the impact of practice, making it more accessible and understandable to contemporary people. Meditation unites ancient traditions and modern scientific approaches. It was practiced by yogis, Buddhist monks, and Taoist sages. Today, science confirms the effectiveness of these practices and explains the mechanisms that were previously available only intuitively. Science does not regard meditation as a universal solution for all problems. It is a tool that helps strengthen the psyche and increase resilience to stress and improve attention and cognitive functions. Its effect depends on the regularity and quality of practice. Regular meditation has the potential to change society. People become calmer, more attentive, and more empathetic. In schools, universities, medical settings, and corporate programs, meditation is already showing positive results. This opens perspectives for a more harmonious society in the future. Meditation is a bridge between ancient experience and modern scientific discoveries. It shows that humans are capable of changing consciousness, strengthening health, and developing cognitive functions. Science only confirms what different cultures have practiced for centuries. The inner world of a human being has enormous potential. Thank you, friends, for being with me in this conversation. I hope it helped you see meditation as a practice that unites past and future, the spiritual and the scientific, the personal and the social. Thank you for your attention and interest.